Hello everyone! I have seen a bunch of super cute DIY Christmas packaging on Instagram and Pinterest, and so I decided to jump on the trend and make some for myself. The first thing that I started out with was decorating these plain white boxes that I got from Hobby Lobby, I think. It was probably about like $3 because they have these huge sales going on, but if you try to go now, the stores are wiped. So I started out by taking a pencil and lightly sketching out the design that I wanted. I knew that I wanted to do some stems of leaves with some holly berries, something very festive but still kind of minimal and elegant, which is basically my style. When I was finished sketching, I brought in the paint. So I used acrylic paint for this. I used a hunter green, a bright red, and some white to kind of create different shades. And I just went right in. Now for this first part, I did use a flat tipped, like a flat edged paintbrush, which it actually worked out really well because since the way that I was using it, it made the effect that the inside portion of whatever I was doing was lighter than the outside portion, which made the leaves look a lot more realistic. And also, instead of having to kind of like draw out a leaf shape, I was able to just press the side of the paintbrush down and create the leaf effect, which I thought was really nice and really useful. I then took some white and I created a lighter shade of green, and this was kind of more like a mint color, which I actually really liked. It was a really pretty color. And I went in and I just added some little flower leaf doodles. I don't quite know what they are, just something to kind of fill the space. And it looked nice, I thought. So then I went in with my red and I started to draw my holly berries. So with this one, I did use a different tip. I used just a regular small tip paintbrush, and I went in and I just drew a bunch of little circles on the branches that I had left clean for this reason. I then took some more white and I created a more pinkish shade, and then I added those in as well. I was super happy with how they turned out. I think it looks really cool. The only extra thing was I took the darker green and I added it to the lighter green just to add some extra depth. And then I took the red and made some little sparkly dots all around just to fill in some more of the extra space. And it was done, and I'm super happy with how it turned out. I ended up making about 2 of them, and I think they're super cute. Next step is wrapping paper. So I have been obsessed with craft paper recently, and I went to Walmart and I found this craft wrapping paper, and I decided to wrap a box. And I cannot wrap a box is what I have discovered over this holiday season. So I came out with something that resembles a wrapped box. And then I brought back out the same paint palette, and the paint had kind of dried a little bit, so it was a little rough in the beginning, but I was able to make it work. So for this, I kind of kept the same theme with the holly berries, and I made some little green leaves and drew in a little holly berry underneath them to look a little bit kind of like mistletoe. It's not really mistletoe, but that's what it reminds. I've never seen mistletoe in person, but this is what I kind of assume it would look like. It's probably more like an actual holly berry tree or whatever. Anyway, I decided to do this. I've seen so much decorated wrapping paper and people using stamps and making stamps out of potatoes and foam and all sorts of different things, but I wanted to paint because I already had the paint out, and I really like the way that paint looks on craft paper. I think it gives a nice texture underneath of the paint, which is, different than just a regular piece of paper, which I think is nice. I then took this oil Sharpie in a gold color, and I wrote to and from and the top, in this extra space that I left out. And then I was done. Next up are gift tags. I have seen a ton of gift tags, and when I went to Dollar Tree and I saw these chalkboard tags, I thought they were super cute and would be a really cute little tag to include on some bags. So I once again went in with this gold Sharpie. I thought that there was a chalkboard paint marker somewhere in my house, but there was not. But my mom had this oil Sharpie and it worked perfectly fine. But if you do have, or you have the chance to go out and get one, I would definitely get a chalkboard marker if you're doing something on chalkboard, just because I'm sure it'll last better and it'll go on a little bit smoother. But this oil marker served my purposes, and I just, made a bunch of little doodles and wrote out some words that just remind me of the holiday season. So writing Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, drawing a Christmas tree or a snow globe, an ornament, snowflakes, whatever speaks and says Christmas to you, that is what I would do. Just don't forget to write to and from at the bottom, because that is the whole point of it. It's not just decorative. I'm super happy with how they turned out. I think they look really, really cute. And then I moved on to the next thing, which was cards. So I don't send out like Christmas cards, but I do like to sometimes include little cards in my Christmas gifts. So I took these plain white cards and envelopes, and I decided to design onto them. I've seen so many different types of Christmas card designs on Pinterest, and I took some inspiration from there. And if you want to recreate any of these, or you're looking for more inspiration, Pinterest is definitely the place to go. So I took this, on this one I wrote Happy Holidays in a calligraphy font, and I drew out some Christmas lights, and this is definitely the most colorful arrangement and card that I have, but I do like the way that it turned out. And I will definitely list all of the supplies that I used. For these cards, I used a PN size Pigma Micron and either Tombow dual tip markers or Crayola SuperTips. Those are definitely my go-tos. And in all of my videos unless it's a book related video, I always list out all of the supplies that I use, just in case you're interested into what it is and you want to get it, or explore some further art supplies for yourself. This one was just a Christmas tree, and I wrote, "Oh, Christmas tree" at the top. And then this one was definitely inspired by one I saw on Pinterest, and it's just this branch that's kind of reaching from across the page with some stockings hanging underneath it. And it was fun to design some stockings, make them look festive. And then I took some stamps, and at the top I wrote Merry Christmas with them. It was a good way to kind of bring in the use of stamps, because I've definitely been trying to incorporate that into everything that I do, because I now have, I think, 4 sets of stamps and letters. So that was really nice to be able to get to use those. And this last one is my absolute favorite. It's I drew a little gnome on the left-hand corner, and on the right I wrote Gnome for the Holidays. Gnomes have made a huge come up this year, and they are everywhere, and I don't necessarily know why, but I think that they are super cute. And I wanted to incorporate that some way, and something that I did this holiday season, and I think that this was the best way that I could have done it, and I'm super, super happy with how it turned out. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe, and reach out to me on all of my other social media platforms, which are listed down below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.